Om Tare Tu Re Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha Om Tare Tu Re Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha Om Tare Tu Re Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha Om Tare Tu Re Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Lama Live livestream event with Lama Tsultrim Allione. I'm Dreame, connecting with you from Poland, with a big pleasure of being part of this blossoming connection between all of us, supporting and nurturing our path through these weekly gatherings. At Taramandala, we are committed to being a welcoming, open, and safe community for practitioners and students of all cultures, races, religions, genders, sexual orientations, age, ability, and circumstances. As we take our seats and settle ourselves, let us acknowledge the land we're sitting on as the ancestral home of indigenous peoples and generate a feeling of gratitude for all those who walked on and cared for this land before us. Taramandala is located on ancestral Ute and Pueblo land in the San Juan Mountains of southwest Colorado. For generations, the people of the Ute and Pueblo nations have resided on this sacred land, forming a deep and symbiotic connection with the natural living ecosystem of rivers, mountains, canyons, lakes, and forests. Taramandala is committed to recognizing the long history of the Anasazi, Ute, Dine, Apache, and Pueblo tribal communities whose ancestral roots are intertwined across the region. Let us also cultivate a heartfelt feeling of appreciation for all the many beings, near or far, seen or unseen, who make it possible for us to be here today. This includes our families and friends, our communities and natural ecosystems, as well as our fellow practitioners and teachers. While each of our gatherings is special, today's is extra special as we are graced by the presence of an immensely gifted artist whose soulful melodies have touched the hearts of millions. I don't want to say too much, but let's leave it at that. And may our time together be of benefit to and relieve suffering for all beings everywhere, without one exception. The chat is open, so please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Lama Tsultrim Allione. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dreame, and welcome everyone from the Pure Land of Costa Rica. And you know, we have this concept of Pure Lands in Tibetan Buddhism, Shinkan. But the interesting thing is that in the normal Costa Rican culture, not particularly spiritual people or anything, they welcome you with the words pura vida, pure life. And so they recognize that they are in a pure land and that they're imbibing that pure life every day. And so let's take a moment to feel that pure life wherever we are. It's in nature, it's in our world, it's in our own bodies. Hopefully our minds also. So let's take a moment and feel the earth where we are. And the Lokapalas, the local protectors of that earth. And I do have a very special guest with me today. And before she comes to be with us, I'd like to lead us in raising a bodhicitta and a short meditation. So let's take a moment and generate the intention to spend this time together for the benefit of ourselves and all beings. Really a heartfelt intention. So raising that intention. Thank you. And take a moment to come down into your body. Come down, meaning often we're up in our heads. Actually experience the sensation of your body sitting wherever you're sitting, or if you're walking, being in your body. And then let's do a short Tonglen practice. Tonglen means taking and sending. And it's a practice of exchanging suffering for compassion. It's basic Mahayana Buddhist practice. It's counterintuitive in some ways because we don't want suffering ourselves, we want happiness. But it's a willingness to actually take on the unhappiness of others and offer them back compassion and relief from suffering. But we flash on emptiness at that moment that the breath turns around. So we're not actually taking in that emptiness. It's dissolved into emptiness. We're not taking in that suffering. It's dissolved into emptiness. And then we breathe out the loving compassion. So let's begin with ourselves. We all have our own suffering, our own disturbances or difficulties with others, or financial, emotional, physical, relational. So breathe that in, flash on emptiness, and let it go with the out breath. Sometimes self-forgiveness is the hardest, more than forgiving others. So releasing any judgment we have of ourselves, breathing in the suffering of our lack of self-compassion, flash on emptiness, and breathe out love and compassion for ourselves. And then expand that out to those in your immediate orbit, your family, your beloveds, people you work with, people in your world, immediate world, feeling their suffering, pain, be it physical or emotional. Breathe that in, pulling it out of them. Flash on emptiness and breathe out the warm breath of compassion. Maybe you have particular people in your close orbit who have problems. Well, do a breath for them. And then spread that out into the whole vicinity where you are, the whole area, all those people you don't know. Opening to their confusion, their fixation, their suffering, breathing it in and breathing out the breeze of compassion. That beautiful breeze of compassion that's going into them, relieving their suffering. And then let that extend out all around our round spinning globe, all the difficult places in the world where there's wars or famine, floods. And where there's not such obvious suffering. Allow yourself that vast heart of compassion to take all that suffering from them. And offering back loving compassion. Thank you, everyone. And welcome to all of you all over the world. That practice of Tonglen is a practice that you can do at any time. And so now I want to welcome my guest. After she's with us for a while, then I'll come back in and finish teaching what I was unable to finish teaching last time because I lost my connection with you. Not my inner connection, but my outer connection. So I'd like to welcome my beloved Deva Premal, who is a classically trained musician. Since she was in her teens, she's been singing mantras and living in the world of spirituality. She was actually raised in that by both parents were very spiritual. And I met her here.
Only 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago.
Wow.
But we feel like it's been for lifetimes. And it's so beautiful that she's willing to come. She's come off a busy world tour with Mitten, her beloved partner, and they've just come back to Costa Rica where they live. There he is. And so we're here. We're above the beach where the Ridley turtles have just been here laying their eggs. It's one of 3 beaches in the world where that happens, and I always feel such a resonance when they're here, when they come in. And I actually went and sat with them for a while a few days ago as they were laying their eggs, which is actually really looks like hard work. When they go, they're kind of sweating from their eyes when they finish and go back to the ocean. So thank you, Deva.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this is where we met. And this is beautiful because we see the blue sky, and this always reminds me of Gate Gate. When I see the blue sky, that's that feeling. So when we were just talking about Tonglen and guiding us into Tonglen, I just felt it would be beautiful to start with Om Mani Padme Hum, compassion.
Yeah.
Mani Padme Hum is in everybody's DNA. I think it's just in there already. No,
I think that's true.
You are born with it.
It's like the base mantra. If you know any mantra, you know that one. And it's Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, mantra of the Bodhisattva of compassion. So as we do this, emanate compassion, and please feel free to join in at home. And I'll be silent, just letting Deva's voice carry you. And let's continue that generation of compassion that we began with the meditation.
So we'll start together with the mantra Om. We'll chant it 3 times together, and then we'll embark on our journey of Om Mani Padme Hum. But the first breath will just be a breath where we breathe out through our mouth, just to let go into this moment. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme 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 Theata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Sua Theata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Sua Theata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Sua Theata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Sua Theata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Sua Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Ratsa Samudgate Soha. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme
I feel bathed in blessings. How do you feel, everybody out there? So amazing, right? You know, right after I met Deva, we went on a little day trip together with Mitten and Michael and Deva and I up here, actually, where this house is. And it's a pretty bumpy road, dirt road. Had to drive through a couple of rivers. And then after we went to the beach down here, we stopped at a restaurant in town, owned by some people connected to Osho. Been with him in India and knew about Deva and Mitten. And the woman there, Mahi, she told a beautiful story that I always think about when I hear Deva sing. She's Spanish, and her mother is not Buddhist or Hindu or inclined toward Eastern religions in any way. She's a Christian. And when she heard Deva sing, Mahi would put on her music when she was staying in her house in Spain, staying in her mother's house, would put on Deva's music. And at one point, her mother said to her, "Who is that? Who is that woman? She has the voice of an angel." And she really meant it. Like, it came completely spontaneously out of her. And she didn't have the sort of cultural context of Eastern thought or Eastern religion or mantras or anything. It's just, that's what I feel. It's the voice of an angel. So our angel will be back with us toward the end. But I'll talk now a little bit about from the teachings I began last week. And if you remember, it was Kumadevi who was speaking, and Kumadevi is a princess. But I was looking up the word in Tibetan, actually, that they've translated princess, but it actually means like sort of respected daughter, Semo in Tibetan. So the daughter of a lama, for example, would be called Semo. And that's the word. So she wasn't necessarily literally a princess, like the daughter of a king, but she was an elevated woman. And so I was talking about her in relationship to Namkhe Norba Rinpoche and how he had so many direct transmissions from her, including practices that are done in a way that you envision yourself as her. But she holds a crystal ball in her lap. She's seated like Tara, but she has the left foot coming down, not the right foot. And inside that crystal ball is rainbow light that's moving. It's swirling inside that crystal ball. And she was a Dzogchen teacher. She's in this lineage from Odiana, which is the land of the Dakinis, the land from which Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava came. And so I've been doing a series of teachings on the lineage holders from Odiana, and she is one of them. And so I did the beginning of it last time. And by the way, that second mantra that David did, besides Om Mani Padme Hum, is the mantra of the medicine Buddha. So it's a healing mantra. And so that combination of Om Mani Padme Hum and the Medicine Buddha mantra, it's a beautiful sequence for healing if you were sitting with somebody who's sick, or you need to do some self-healing. It's a beautiful sequence. And that Bekkensi means pain, Mahat Bekkensi, great pain. And then the relief of that pain, the ocean of goodness with Samudagate. So just wanted to give you that little footnote in case you didn't know what that was. So this is the princess, I call her Princess Kumadevi. And so she is expressing the primordial state, and she expresses it thus. I am Kumadevi. And in the translation, the 5 aggregates come first, but actually in the Tibetan, the 5 elements come first. So Yango Riki Yongala. So the 5 elements are the 5 female Buddhas. This is what she said. The 5 elements are the 5 female Buddhas. So just take a moment and think about that. What if instead of seeing the ocean, you saw the female Buddha of Mamaki? What if instead of fire or the heat in your body, you experienced Pandara Vasini? What if instead of earth, you were to experience Buddha Lokana? And instead of space, Dak Visvari, female Buddha of space. And instead of air, Aryatara, Samayatara. So we have all those elements in our body, right? What if we experienced our world, the elements of our world, as female Buddhas, and the elements in our body as female Buddhas as well? That's what she's saying, that they are female Buddhas. That's a very different experience, isn't it, of your body. Body's like a blend of female Buddhas, all interacting harmoniously and supporting your life force and our world as well. And then her next line is Gumbo Riki Yavana Yin. So that is the 5 skandhas are the 5 male Buddhas. So the skandhas, or the Pongpo in Tibetan, are the psychophysical constituents of a human being. That's the 5 skandhas. So it's form, feeling, perception or conception, volitional action, and consciousness. Those are the 5 skandhas. Form. So form is like, contains all the elements. Feeling, when you just feel something, like you like it, you don't like it, or you don't care. So it's a very kind of, somebody said to me, a grunt level of perception. It's just very basic. And then perception or conception is like a deepening of that, what we have in feeling. Then we make a concept from it. And then we might act from it. That's volitional action. And consciousness is under it all. So those become the 5 male Buddhas. That Visvari is the female Buddha of space. And she's in union with Varachana. Varachana is form. And they each have their element and their skandha that they're associated with. And so that means that our psychophysical constituents are the male Buddhas, and they're in union with the elements, which are the female Buddhas. So the male Buddhas are Varochana, Akshobhya, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha, and Amoghasiddhi. And so when you have that correspondence with them, with the elements, then we have a mandala in our bodies, right? And so when we do this, I don't know if you can see it in this light, but when we put our 5 fingers together in the Anjali Mudra, this symbolizes the 5 male and the 5 female Buddhas in union, Yabyon. And so basically what Kumadevi is saying here is that our world is sacred and our world is in union. It's in a non-dual relationship with itself. And that these things that we think of as mundane, our own body, the elements around us, are actually sacred. And they're in union. And they're awake. So let's take a moment and feel that. Feel that all those psychophysical constituents are male Buddhas. And all the elements also in our bodies are the female Buddhas. And then put our hands together and feel their non-dual union. And also the non-dual union in our world. And then there's one more level of this that is the next line. Kamdam keche sempe semmeyin. So this is that the spheres of the senses, so that's the sense of the eye, the sense of the ear, the sense of the nose, the sense of the tongue, taste, and the sense of feeling in the body as well as the mind. So those are considered, the mind's considered a sense also in Buddhism. And so what it says here is that our senses are the 8 bodhisattvas. And so, and they're in union. So there's actually 16 of these bodhisattvas. So how does that fit with the male and female Buddhas? It means that actual sense experience of union, let's say union with the eye or with taste, with touch, when you have a non-dual experience of the senses, that sense experience itself is the 8 bodhisattvas. So that's sort of another layer of sacredness and a transformed way to experience our world that's here. So we have those 6 senses. And then the next part is the union of that. And so she says, Kunshi Kuntu Zangmola. So this is actually the 7th, or the 8th of those 8 consciousnesses of the senses. And that is the Kunshi, or the Alaya Vijnana. The Alaya is the same word that's used in Himalaya It means storehouse, or the way that things are stored. It's the basis of the mind, the neutral state of the dualistic mind. So it's, in this case, the way she's talking about transformation. So in this case, she's saying that we have this storehouse, and that's all the memories and all the imprints that come through the senses, through the skandhas, through the elements, are stored in the alaya. So it's kind of like this big bag that we carry around, and it's personal. It's our memories, and it goes from life to life. And so what she says here is that alaya is actually Kunduzangmo, who is Samantabhadri. Samantabhadri is considered to be the female Buddha of the primordial state. So that alaya vijnana, that storehouse consciousness, which is really just sort of a heap of all of our memories and imprints and so on, that when that's transformed, it becomes Samantabhadri. And she is the ground of being. So rather than the ground of samsara, she's the ground of awakeness. She's the pure, open, potential, has no form. She is awareness itself, the ground of being that permeates everything, has no center, no edge. When I talk about her, my mind stops, because she's beyond words. And the experience of her is definitely beyond words. So that alaya, that sort of this, that bag of memories and imprints that we lug around, is transformed into her, into that ground of being. So let's take a moment and feel that. Yeah. The ground of being is ji. The same word is used in Dzogchen ji. It's the same word as kunshi for the alaya, but it's a really different meaning. And this is about transformation. This is transforming. This is Vajrayana she's talking about. So how do we feel Samantabhadri? Formless, openness, awareness with no limit, all pervasive. That's fundamental. That's that gives birth to all of the rest, the elements, the skandhas, phenomenal world appearances. So then she says, Yidni Kuntozampo Yin. So Yid is mind. It's like the thinking mind. So she's saying the mind is Kuntozampo, or Samantabhadra, the masculine primordial Dharmakaya Buddha. They're usually portrayed as he's blue and she's white. They're in yabyum, they're in union, and they're naked because they are the fundamental state. So she's saying the mind transforms into him. So he is the awareness that recognizes the ground of being. So when our awareness turns toward itself and recognizes itself, there's union. That awareness that turns and unifies with Samantabhadri is Samantabhadra. So the mind, that thinking mind, becomes the awareness that recognizes the ground. So now we have our whole existence transformed into the Dharmakaya Buddhas in union, the union of the male and female Buddhas, and of the male and female Bodhisattvas. So this is the symbol that we see a lot in Vajrayana of the Abhinayam, the divine couple, the union of masculine and feminine, whatever your gender awareness is, or however you see yourself in terms of gender. This is about the union that we have within all of us. It's a non-dual state. And then the final line that she says is Detar Yabyum Nime Mudrup Yin. So in this way, through Yabyum, that's Yab is the masculine, Yum is the feminine, the non-dual Nime cities are explained or exist. So when we have that union of non-duality, perhaps you experienced it now, maybe you're still experiencing the union of your elements with your skandhas, the union of Samantabhadri. When we're in that state of union, we have power. That's Nudra siddhis. Empowerment. We're deeply empowered because we're in the truth of reality, of actually how things really are. And that gives powers. Nudra, she uses that word siddhis. So there's absolute and relative siddhis. The relative siddhis are things like walking on water or walking through walls or being able to multiply objects, those kinds of things. But the absolute siddhi is realization of the true nature of reality. And so that's Kumadevi's teaching. That's from this woman from the 8th century. And it's still so touching and so relevant now. That's how I find these teachings, just so so powerful. Kumadevi, yeah, the noble daughter, the noble woman of Gaudiya. So I'll go on with these in the future. She was number 9 of the 21. And if you put that together with what I gave last time, the introduction to her, and you can listen to all of these Lama Lives online. They're on YouTube, available to you on the Tara Mandala Global YouTube. You can put together that one from last week with this week and get the whole transmission from Kumadevi. So I'm going to invite the Devi back, our Kumadevi emanation. So appropriate that Deva Premal would be here for Kumadevi's teaching. And so, yeah, that was beautiful with what you did, and just to feel that woman from so long ago, and just feel her presence, because she's here, she's present. She was very alive in Namkhe Norbu's dreams, in another dimension, not in this dimension, in another dimension. And then to hear the voice of the Devi in this
We are all Devis.
Devi.
All Devis and all angels.
Yeah.
Somehow I felt to share the Tara Mangalarta mantra,
Yeah.
just because it feels so feminine and so sweet, you know, that kind of like
Yeah.
gentle. Do you want to say something about it?
Well, Tara is the female Buddha of compassion, so I think it's right in our theme today. And it's important to have these images of the divine feminine, because we're all daughters of the patriarchy and sons of the patriarchy, and to have a feminine presence of the divine is so important. And Tara offers so much in her 21 manifestations, and we've done some beautiful things with those mantras. And so has Lopan Chandra, whose book is now out on the 21 Taras, embodying Tara. And so Tara was the first female Buddha that I met. I was walking around that stupa of Swayambhu that I always think of when I speak about the male and female Buddhas, because there's statues of them around the edge of that stupa. You went there recently, right? You didn't go to Swayambhu? No. Because David was just in Nepal. Anyway, there was a monk that started walking with me and making me say mantras. Like, Om, okay, Om, and Tara was one of them. So it's lived in me for a long time, and there's no one that sings it like you. Thank you. So again, everyone sing with us. At home, let yourself become her body, her sacred body, and send her love out to all beings everywhere.
Om Tare Tutare Ture Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha. 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 Om Tare Tam Swaha. Om Tare Tam Swaha. Om Tare Tam Swaha. Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhisvaha. Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhisvaha.
Oh, thank you, everyone out there, the ethers. That was the mantra of the 12th Tara. It's the mantra I call of climate disruption, and it's invoking the auspiciousness of timely seasons and rains. And it's also a mantra that blesses children. And Deva did that on an album recently, right? Or was it a single release that you did with India?
No, it's on an album. And India rewrote the melody. And yeah, she really captured the essence of the mantra.
Maybe talk about India a little bit.
Yeah, India Ari, I'm sure many or all of you know India Ari for her incredible singing and songwriting, and really one of those artists where you can listen to the lyrics and be uplifted by them, and you don't have to shield yourself from the lyrics just to enjoy the melody, but you can enjoy everything because it's a transmission.
That's a good way of putting it. You have to shield, because you really do for some songs.
So we connected and said let's do something together, and then at the same time we met Lama Tsultrim, and the very strange and beautiful synchronistic thing is that they both share the same birthday.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah. And so it all came together, and Lama gave us the mantra, and India sat in meditation, and this is what she received.
Yeah.
And then we recorded it together.
So that's a mantra that you can do when you're feeling like, I really would like to do something about the disruption of the climate and of the seasons and of our world. You can do that mantra. And it's in that album. What's the name of the album?
The album is called Timeless. And this particular mantra, if you stream it or stream it on any platform, all the funds that get generated get donated to a company that removes plastic from the ocean, forocean.com. So the more you stream it, the better. Just leave it all night long.
It's beautiful because we are looking out at the ocean right now. And there's so much suffering caused to the beings in that ocean by plastic. So you get the double benefit of the mantra and the removal. So you can imagine like a vacuum cleaner pulling it out of the ocean as you're listening to that mantra. And then the last mantra was the Gati mantra that many of you who study with me know, because it's one of the main practices that I teach is Prajna Paramita. And that is her mantra. And it means gone, gone, gone beyond, gone completely beyond, so be it. To Bodhi, gone, gone, gone beyond, gone completely beyond, to Bodhi, so be it, Swaha. So that is connected to Samantabhadri, the female Buddha that I was speaking of, ground of being, because Prajna Paramita and Samantabhadri are the same. So it's that fundamental formless awakeness that permeates everything. And so these are all mantras that you can use, and mantras are in Sanskrit always, and Sanskrit's not a human language. It's a language that they say came from another dimension. They say it came from the gods into India. And so that's why mantras are usually not translated, because the Sanskrit itself is sacred. And so when you say those syllables, the vibrational field of the mantra has an impact. And so just singing mantras, even if you don't know what they mean, the sound itself is sacred and has an impact. Then if your mind is with it and you're visualizing, or you're seeing with your mind's eye and sending out compassion, for example, then it's even more powerful. So mantras are important, and this is the queen of mantras here with us today. And thank you, everybody. How is everybody doing? I didn't have a chance to look at the chat as we are here together. Nice to be with you all. Great, an angel coming down from the sky directly into my heart. Thank you. Oh, lots of things, lots of comments. Wow. Yes, mantras of mind protection. Oh, you know, it's so precious to be with you all and feel this community that we have together. I'll be back next Sunday for Lama Live again, and probably will continue with the Sunday lineage, but you never know who might pop up or pop in, or what might pop into my mind that I want to do. But this is kind of a thread that's been going under these, and also there's a webcast now that has pulled out these teachings that I've been giving on the Sunday lineage into podcasts. And that's on all the usual places that you find podcasts. It's called Wisdom Rising, that's the name of the podcast. In case you want to listen to some of the other ones from before, you can. And also, Open Chandra is going to be doing an event, which Andrime will talk about, but she's doing an event opening her book, her book launch, and on the 21 Taras coming up during the solstice. So we can stay in this dimension, blissed out. My heart is full. Oh, nice to be with you. Yeah, nice to be with you all. And her name is Goma Devi, not Kuma Devi. It's Goma, Goma Devi. So you know. And yeah, so let's take a moment and dedicate the merit of our time together. Merit is the positive energy that we accumulate. And when you dedicate it, you spread it, you increase it. So send that out to benefit all beings everywhere. And what a treat to have Deva Premal with us. And thank you, Deva, for being with us in this beautiful place. And thank you all for being here. And lots of love to you all, and have a good week. And I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you.
Lamala, Devala, we are so deeply grateful for this radiance, for this grace you have surrounded us with today, for the teachings, Lamala, for reminding us of the power of the Tonglen practice. This gathering has been so abundant in its offerings, bathed in blessings, like you said, Lamala. Indeed, what a gift. Thank you so much. And gratitude extends to each and every one of you for your presence, for choosing to dedicate your time and attention to these new experiences that unfold here every Sunday, and for recognizing how meaningful it is to share this space with fellow practitioners from all corners of the world. And I want to emphasize that your participation, even through the recordings of these gatherings, matters so much, so much. And so I wholeheartedly invite you to join one of the Taramandala senior teachers, Dorje Lopon Chandra Easton, and our community on December 21st for the winter solstice as we embark on a new cycle infused with intention and compassion for all beings. During this program, Lapon Chandra will share the profound prayer of Samantabhadra, traditionally read and contemplated during solstice and equinoxes. This gathering, like Lama La said, holds special significance, also because it's a beautiful occasion to come together as a Sangha to celebrate the release of Lapon Chandra's new book, Embodying Tara, 21 Manifestations to Awaken Your Innate Wisdom, published this month by Shambhala Publications. This modern guide explores Tara's 21 forms, unveiling the profound ways in which influential women and movements in contemporary history have embodied Tara's enlightened activities. The eagerness with which we've awaited the release of this book is matched only by the sheer joy we feel now that it's finally here, ready to be shared for the benefit of all and with all of you. So, winter solstice, Thursday, December 21st. Please join us. The link to register will be soon in the chat. And that's also the last Tara Mandala program of the year. And finally, following the tradition going all the way back to the time of the Buddha 2600 years ago, you have the opportunity to make an offering of dana to Lama Tsultrim. Dana is a Pali and Sanskrit word that means generosity. Dana directly recognizes the precious gift of the teacher and the teachings, without which one could not practice the Dharma. The link in the chat will be in a moment. And as we close our time together, let's acknowledge the generational caretakers of the land we're on, the indigenous ancestors who were here before us. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to them and to others who also make it possible for us to practice here. Our families, co-workers, friends, community, including all beings, seen and unseen, who support our practice, and particularly our teachers who skillfully offer us these precious teachings. May all beings, without one exception, benefit and be free of suffering. Thank you so much, everyone. We hope to see you next Sunday.
Om tare tu re, Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha. Om tare tu re, Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha. Om tare tu re, Mangalam Shri Mahapani Swaha. Om tare tu re.